What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Snatches and Scotch. We're here with Kettlebell for Kids. My co-host George Dixon. I am your host Sylvie Bona and Johnny Sixbox behind the camera. And we're here with Amie and Colette. Is that French?
It is.
Awesome. With a British accent.
Irish.
Irish accent.
I didn't get that.
Close enough.
Traitor. So we're here just talking about cool stuff with cool people, and these guys have a pretty cool thing going on. From what I understand, Amie used to work for Reebok, kind of did a big transition working for a non-for-profit, and now you guys are a non-profit organization that is crushing it, and you're helping homeless kids get strong.
That's right.
And fit.
That's right.
That is so damn cool. So how did that happen?
Well, like you said, I worked at Reebok and really got involved in CrossFit back in 2010 and fell in love with it. It's a community, right? I mean, we're all here to kind of help ourselves get stronger, but help our community and members in your box. And then I did some consulting work for a nonprofit where I met Colette. And we were all about homeless kids, and I was really ignorant to the issue. In 2011, I had no idea that there were 2.5 million homeless kids in America.
Holy crap.
And so we just
But wait, when we talk about kids, what is that? What age group?
Yeah.
Like under what age?
Under 18.
Under 18.
Now, are they on their own, or does that encompass families that might be without a home as well, or
Exactly.
is it just
That encompasses families as well.
Okay.
Both single parent and dual parent.
Okay.
And the saddest part of it is, 51% of that 2.5 million are under the age of 6 years old.
What?
So, yeah.
Wait a second. So,
Yeah.
because I was thinking under 18, yeah, it's probably teenagers running from home,
Right.
probably smoking weed or something. But wait, so most of them are like under 6 years
Families
old?
That's
that
right.
are okay.
That's right.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow, I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a baby, and he has like 2 kids. And imagine, that's crazy, dude.
Right.
That is messed up. Wow. So how did you call it work with this non-for-profit? How did you get started?
So I had been there about 8 years when Amie came on board.
Sorry, what's it called to begin with?
It's called Horizons for Homeless Children.
Horizons for Homeless Children?
Yep, and it's based in Boston. So
Okay.
it has a Massachusetts-based program when it comes to direct service. So working with shelters across the state of Massachusetts and actually installing what they call play spaces. So which are just places that are designated for nothing but play, because that is kids' job, if you will, when they're under the age of 5
That's
or 6.
how they grow, that's how they learn.
Yeah. So Amie came on board. We worked together for a while, and being an avid CrossFitter that Amie is, she introduced the CrossFit community to the work of Horizons for Homeless Children, and I mean, the rest is history. You can keep going with the story, but CrossFit, I guess the one thing that's just really, really glaringly clear is the passion that shines through the CrossFit community.
Yeah.
You put CrossFit together with a cause like this, and it's like a fusion that has a lot of energy behind it. So that's right.
Awesome. Yeah, so how did you guys get involved with the whole ECC and everything here?
Yeah, well, we did our first fundraiser, as Colette had mentioned, in Massachusetts in 2014, and we raised just over $20,000.
Wow.
Reebok was our primary sponsor, which we were incredibly grateful for.
That's cool.
Then last year, we actually took the Kettlebells for Kids WAD, or fundraising WAD, and created our nonprofit last year. So
nice.
In 2015, we got 23 states enlisted.
Oh, wow.
Over 60 boxes participated in the WAD, and we raised just under $100,000.
That's all. I heard about that, on social media and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're from Canada, right? So we're kind of always like a step behind, because all the cool stuff happens in America.
Yeah.
And then we're kind of like a kid looking through the window.
Oh my God! Look at that! You know what they did? Look at what they did! Oh my!
Can we get in? Are they gonna come over to Canada eventually?
Canada's definitely on our radar.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of interest from across the border, and it's.
So how does it work? What do you do? You get boxes involved to do a huge, community WAD, a fundraiser, and then that money goes to local shelters?
That's right. Yeah. So money raised in each state stays in that state.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you asked how we got involved with ECC, and it was really our number one fundraising box was Ben's box, CF&E,
Nice.
CrossFit New England, and so forming that partnership. has been tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
So basically each year we get boxes to enlist, sign up their teams, and fundraise, also raise awareness. It's just as important to us to just get the issue out there, but it's also key for us to keep that money in each state and help local kids that are in your own backyard.
Now, that's typically done like an in-house, in-box type, like you leave it up to each individual box to come up with how they're going to fundraise, or is it just, we're going to do on Saturday, everyone from our box, we're going to get together, we're going to do a WOD, or is it more like a competition style? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's not competition style other than the fundraising, so that's a lot of fun just to watch the different boxes compete. And we had CrossFit Torque and CrossFit New England competing neck and neck to kind of become the top box.
Yeah. Okay.
We actually last year we had a 10-day fundraising event, so we programmed the WOD with Ben Bergeron, and boxes signed up, did the WOD. Some people did it, as their WOD of the day. Others did it as a Saturday event where, like CrossFit Torque in Foxborough, had all the members come in with their family, kids.
And then both of them kind of went head to head in one location. That's cool, though.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about the community. I mean, it's so easy to do that, and it's the main thing is that you can get awareness, fundraising for a great cause, but at the same time, the box owner can create more of a community feel. People are doing good, they're changing the world while just working out. You know what I mean? So that's really cool, because we work at my box with Sweat Angels, and people just have to show up to the gym, sign in to check in the Facebook, and then hey, you've made a little bit of a difference by just doing a bunch of burpees.
Exactly.
And that's it's that easy. It's so cool.
Yeah. And if we can just take that energy, right, and homeless kids can't get to a box, so our job is really bringing the box to homeless shelters. So that's our long-term goal.
So the money you guys raise for shelters goes to the shelter?
It goes to the program that's serving kids within the community in which it was raised.
Okay.
To begin with, yeah.
And then do you also go into those shelters and train kids?
So this year, 2016, we're actually piloting our first in-shelter program.
Cool.
Working with CrossFit Torque and a shelter down in Norfolk County.
Is that in the Boston area?
It's around the Boston area, right?
Can you say Boston like you're from Boston?
From Boston.
Boston.
Yes.
From Boston.
The question is, can you guys say it?
No.
Absolutely not.
Really?
No.
I can say Haba.
We said Haba. Once we cross the state line, we're like Haba.
That's all we got.
That's awesome.
So you're gonna start like a little pilot program?
So ultimately, our goal is to bring the box to shelter.
Okay.
Homeless families, homeless kids are transient. So we couldn't, it's not as easy as actually giving them a membership to a particular box.
Yeah,
they're not going to be in the same location week to week. So we want to actually create in-shelter fitness programs where we can fund coaches from CrossFit boxes locally to go in and really get these kids moving in a new direction. That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
I think you find coaches without funding them. Pretty sure.
Yeah, but this is their time, and and I think you're right.
And that makes sense, but I think you could definitely find without funding them. I mean, we talked to John Gilson from Again Faster, and he started his DB WOD, and let me tell you something. It is a pain in the ass to become a DB WOD coach, and he's done a good job with going through background checks, social media checks, certification checks. You have to have a lot of credentials and also be a pretty damn good person to be a DB WOD coach, okay? There is nothing that is going to allow you to make money or be successful or anything, just as the fact that you're helping the community for free to get fit. That's it. And he's got DB WOD coaches all over, and they're extremely high-level, great coaches, and I'm sure you guys could do that with your cause. 100%. 100%.
I concur. I agree.
Their time.
You look at the community, right?
Find a coach who has kids and be like, done. If you guys did in Canada, I told you that for free, no problem. Even actually, my wife would probably kill me because I'm committing too many things. But yeah, I mean, absolutely, it'd be easy.
Yeah.
But that's
the
great.
The thrilling part, I think anyway, the thrilling part is what's going to happen for kids who have no exposure to something like this, and just in addition to obviously the benefits of physically working out, which in turn will really impact the way they're learning and the pace of growth and development, but just the notion that their parents might be involved, and doing this activity with them, or that they have access to role models that ordinarily wouldn't be a part of their lives. I mean, it's ridiculous, kind of the
let me
spin-off effects.
Let me tell you something. Like when you are training, and you're strong in the gym, you become stronger in life.
You do.
Yeah.
And when I train kids, I train a couple of 10-year-olds who are like hockey players, and they are extremely out of shape, and they're very, very weak mentally. Their spirit's almost broken. They probably get bullied at school.
Yeah.
And they have great lives. They're not homeless, But I mean, kids still have issues they deal with. When they get stronger in the gym and they have small little milestones they accomplish, they're able to do a better movement. They're able to get a better time. You can just see them light up,
And that
they become
confidence.
their confidence
Right.
through the roof.
Yeah.
They become strong individuals,
Right.
and I think that's where it's at. I mean,
That's what we talk a lot about, because obviously as CrossFitters we care about our physical strength, but it's that social and emotional skills that we really need to instill in homeless children.
And especially at the ages that you were mentioning,
That's
that's
right.
where they're developing a lot of their self-identity, and they
Exactly.
start asking questions and having understanding.
They're
So
sponges at that point.
and
Yeah.
being able to, if it's complete a movement in a gym or whatever, have access and be successful at something.
Right.
It may not be necessarily a reflection of their struggles in the past or their circumstances.
Exactly.
Right. So
And that's
CrossFit
what-
is the conduit at that point. And bring it on.
One of the things that we talk a lot about is, looking forward in 3 to 5 years, what do we want the program to look like?
Yeah.
And part of it is, any child that goes through the program will receive a T-shirt that says athlete.
Yeah.
You think about when any of us put on a T-shirt that says athlete, like your just demeanor changes. You
Yeah.
feel stronger, not only physically but mentally. So we can't wait till that day when we can really get these kids just feeling great about themselves.
and even a sense of belonging.
That's right.
A part of something too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I think. Everybody has like insecurities, and what I've noticed that when I was younger in high school, I was an athlete, and when I started training, because I was always a really tall, skinny kid, believe it or not. And when I started training, I started putting like 50 pounds of muscle. I became, one of the best basketball players in school. I was an athlete. I went to the mall. I was walking up, chest proud, eyes up. I was looking at people in their eyes. I wasn't walking head down. I wasn't scared of anybody. I wasn't intimidated to talk to anybody. And I was like, shit, all I did was work out.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm so passionate about, like, running, my CrossFit gym and helping kids out, at that age as well, and regular people as well, because you could be, a 5-year-old or you could be a 50-year-old,
Yeah.
and you still haven't found your confidence. So
Yeah, that's right.
that's a really cool thing that you guys are starting them off early,
Yeah.
and like setting up for success at a very, very early age.
And hopefully just breaking the cycle.
Yeah.
Just because,
Hell
again,
yeah.
like with homeless families, it's often just this issue that just continues through the generations until you just, something or somebody comes in and just nips it in the bud. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
all of a
talk a
sudden
lot
there's
about,
something new.
right? We talk, kids are what they experience, good or bad, So
Yeah.
if that is the life that's likely going to be the life you repeat.
Yeah.
That's right.
And,
Well, there's nothing else out there to show them better.
That's right.
Right? So that's
we're,
awesome.
We're excited to, as we launch our pilot, we have the Bassick Center behind us, which has over 30 years of experience in research. So they're going to
Cool.
be helping us develop a research plan to really measure impact before and
Awesome.
after programs. So if a child does have an anger issue, if a child is depressed or doesn't have self-esteem, that we're going to be able to measure the impact that we're having
Man,
in shelter.
if 40-year-olds at regular gyms get off their depression medicine after doing classes for 3 months, trust me, children will follow a lot quicker.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's awesome,
It's also
man.
actually really exciting that we have a really strong partner in Bright Horizons Foundation for Children, and Bright Horizons, I think, is a part of Canadian life too in terms of childcare services that they bring, early education and care. And so they're kind of our outlet when it comes to actually impacting what's happening on the ground with this population. So they have like existing what they call bright spaces in shelters across the country, actually across the world at this point. So they're the ones who are actually going to deliver the program,
Awesome.
Okay.
which is really exciting. They're just a really strong partner.
Yeah.
That's great, man. So hopefully you guys come to Canada soon, because honestly, Toronto can use your help.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie.
We were going to
Absolutely.
shoot for 2016, but I think we're going to pilot. But Canada is next in line. We definitely have.
Okay.
We definitely have you on our radar.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on the show. And where can people reach you?
At kettlebellsforkids.org.
Kettlebellforkids.org. All right. Peace
Beautiful.
out.
All right.
Thanks for coming on.
Take care, guys.
John, you don't have to spaz out like that. I see you. Hey.